All right, guys. So if anybody was stuck on the first problem from the practice test, concentrations and dilutions, I'm just going to show you some quick test-taking strategies really quick here. So it's asking us to prepare 1 liter of normal saline using 25% stock saline. Okay. Now, if you are taking a test and you're fighting against the clock, right? You're trying to budget out enough time for each question, but not dwell over long so that you're not, creating yourself stress on the back end by running out of time. What you can do is you can take some shortcuts here. If you look at a question like this, you can actually solve this. You can actually use some just quick and dirty logic. You can skip having to put pencil to paper or writing out any formulas. Really, this is just a trial and error problem, okay? Because if you slowly and carefully read what it is that they're asking you need to get to 1 liter, 1,000 ml, right, of normal saline, which is 0.9% sodium chloride. All right, so what do? Well, we look at each of the multiple choice answers that they gave us. You can pick any one at random. I'm going to skip over the first one for reasons that I will explain later, but let's jump to the third one, 63 milliliters. Right, so we take 63, okay, and it's 25% saline. Okay, so exactly how much saline is in that? Well, I just told you, it's 25% saline. So 1/4 of that 63 milliliters is saline, is salt, is sodium chloride. The rest is water. But the part that makes it saline is the salt, is that 25% of 63 ml. So we do 63 times 0.25. So there's 15.75 ml of salt, saline, sodium chloride, in that solution. In that stock solution, that's 25%. So we add sufficient quantity of water, whatever, they're not telling us how much, to get up to 1,000 ml. So without having to even, subtract the 63 ml of stock solution from the 1,000 ml, without having to do anything else, we can just take that amount of salt that we know is in 63 ml of the stock solution, 25%, there's exactly this much saline. And if we're ending with 1,000 milliliters, then this number divided by 1,000 is going to be the strength of the saline. 0.1575. So that's not right, because we know that NS in healthcare is 0.9%. That doesn't look remotely right. All right, so we'll try the next question. 19 milliliters of that same stock solution times 0.25 gives us 4.75 milliliters of saline. Now that, as a percentage of the full liter, the 1,000 milliliters that we want to get to, 0.00475. Also doesn't really look right? That's not normal saline. All right, and then we'll try number 2, 54 times 0.25. So this second multiple choice answer has 13.5 milliliters of saline. As a percent of the total, 0.0135. No, still not it. Now, let's try answer number 1. And again, if you were sitting there taking a test, you would trial and error. You would start with the one that, if you happened to know in your head approximately what looked right, you could start with the one that seems close to what you think, or chip away in order. 36 times 0.25 is 9. That very first one, in 2 seconds, you've determined that your first multiple choice answer has 9 milliliters of saline. Okay, and then you're going to add whatever amount of water, doesn't matter. You don't need to know that for the purposes of solving the problem. You add some water, get up to 1,000 milliliters of total solution. Okay, to be precise, it would be 964 milliliters of water, obviously, because it's the 1,000 minus the 36 ml of the stock saline, but again, it doesn't matter. You add that amount of water, you get to 1,000 ml. So you now have a solution that is 1,000 ml and contains 9 milliliters of saline. So 9 as a percentage of that 1,000 is 0.009. And remember, this is a percentage expressed as a decimal, right? So we're going to move that decimal over. We've got 0.9% saline. And if you don't believe me, let's take 0.9, the strength of normal saline, divide by 100%. Same thing, 0.009. Because 0.9% expressed as a decimal is 0.009. So right away, in 5 seconds, without doing any math, you had this question on an exam. If you just took the very first question and you said, okay, what's a quarter of 36? It's 9. What percent of 1,000 is 9? 0.9. Boom, normal saline. You've saved yourself several minutes of doing out the formula for each one of these answers, and you can just proceed directly to the next question.